Isn't she beautiful? What is going on, guys? So today, in this video, I'm gonna go over all the modifications I've done with my 2015 Dodge Challenger RT. Not only gonna go through modifications, but we're also gonna go through the prices as well. I'm Jeff from Modern Muscle 213, the YouTube channel for all of your cars, news, and events. And today, we are gonna talk about how I spent $4,000 on my 2015 Dodge Challenger RT. So the first modification I want to discuss with you guys today is the FA GT Momentum Cold Air Intake. I added this on my car for two primary reasons. One, to really open up the engine and let a lot of air in with the Hellcat inlet, and to increase the sound of the car. I'm not going to go into too much detail with you guys about this cold air intake. I already have a review on my channel, and I'll leave the link in the description. I'll also have a card up here so you guys can have it in the video as well. So if you guys want a detailed description and really want to learn more about this cold air intake, check out my review. So I purchased this intake from FA directly on their website, and this cost me $500. Up next, we have the matte black gas cap. Now this has to be one of my favorite modifications I've done to this car. When I first purchased this car, the car came with a gloss gas cap. And, you know, it kind of just made the car look really stock. I don't know if that's like the perfect description, but it made it look like it was a stock Challenger. It didn't look right, you know, it kind of made it look like it was a rental car. So, you know, I looked into it and I decided to get the black gas cap. Now, with this black gas cap, the car looks so much faster. You know, it doesn't look stock. You know, it definitely looks like you've gained, you know, 50 horsepower. I know that's a joke that everybody does, but no, seriously, this thing really makes the car look a lot better. It really makes it pop. Yeah, so I would really recommend this modification. If your car did not come with the black gas cap, or, you know, came with the gloss one, this is something that you really need to have because it makes your car just look so much better. And this is definitely one of the most inexpensive but kind of really necessary modifications. I think this modification is way more necessary than a cold air intake, in my opinion. But yeah, this is a great mod. I'm pretty sure everybody has it, but if you don't, you really need it. So this matte black gas cap cost me $110. I really think it's kind of an inexpensive modification for what it does. I mean, at least appearance wise. And yeah, so this one costs $110 and I purchased this from Speed Logic. Up next is the Corsa Xtreme exhaust. So I'm not going to get into too much detail about this exhaust due to the fact that I've already have a review of it on my channel. If you guys haven't checked it out, I really recommend you do. There's a lot of sound clips in there, and you know, it really goes into detail of the aspects I like about it, what I don't like about it. But when you get a Dodge Challenger, for some reason, the Dodge Challengers and the Charger RTs, especially the RT editions, for some reason, they really have a robust exhaust. The size of the mufflers and the resonators on this thing compared to, you know, the Dodge Hellcat, you know, it's a very stark difference. And you can tell that it's not just because, you know, Hellcat needs, you know, it really needs, you know, a different exhaust system. No, it really has to do with kind of, you know, the marketing. You know, Dodge purposely designed the RTs to be more quiet than, you know, for example, a Scat Pack or, you know, the SRTs or the Hellcat. And, you know, I understand why they do it. It's pretty smart. Like, why would you pay for a, you know, a Scat Pack, or why would you get a Hellcat if the RT is going to sound just like it, right? They got to make it quieter. So that's pretty much, their tactic for doing that. And I get it. If I wanted something super loud, I would have gotten a Hellcat. But these cars, with the 5.7 liter V8 Hemi, it's pretty loud. And, although Dodge wants to keep it quiet, that's what modifications are for. So I just think that, getting exhaust, it's just really, you pretty much need it. You're going to have to get an exhaust if you're getting, like a V6 or a V8. I mean, you really can't go stock. I mean, it's not like the car was really quiet when I bought it, but it really needs a kick. And, either, you can get straight pipe it, whatever you want to do. But this is just something that, you really need to have on the RT. And I decided to go with the Corsa exhaust. And if you guys want to know more detail about that, you could check out that review. But yeah, you definitely will need an exhaust if you are, getting a RT or anything below that. So I purchased this exhaust from fasthemis.com, and I paid $1,500 for it. And they really gave me a good deal because, the $1,500, the installation was free. So this is definitely, my most expensive mod that I've done to this car, but I kind of feel like it was definitely something necessary to have with your Challenger RT. And if you guys want more information, check out the review. So now I'm going to talk about the emergency brake bright pedal. I purchased this for $20 from Speed Logic. And why did I purchase it? Because it matched the set that came with the car. I believe the emergency brake had, basically one of those regular rubber covers, but, this really kind of gives it a little more attitude. One thing I have to say about it, you have to actually cut into the bright pedal for some reason. It doesn't naturally fit on there, but once you cut into it, it's not a big deal. It fits on there. It does fall off from time to time if you kind of kick the emergency brake, but for the most part it works fine and it looks great. Up next we have the red push start button, usually optioned on the SRTs and the Hellcats. So the car usually comes with a black regular push start button, but this one definitely is pretty awesome, and it comes straight from the factory. So it's the same button you would get on the Hellcat. And of course, I don't really need an explanation for this. It just looks awesome, looks so much better. I purchased this from Speed Logic for $58. Up next we have the tail light and the side reflector and rear reflector tint from Big Worms Graphics. So this is really something that I like, another aesthetic mod, but it really makes the car look great. So basically what these are is, they're decals that you put on the car, and it tints out the side markers, they tint out the back, the rear side markers, and they also tint out the tail lights. Now, one thing that I have to say is, it does come with a headlight kit, but I ended up taking those off just because of the fact that, maybe I just did it wrong, or maybe it was just the weather or whatnot, but I had to end up taking those off just because the car didn't look right with them on it, right? I feel like the headlights, they need to be clear, and I just don't think it's really necessary to have them on, the front of the car. But on the back of the car, it makes it look so much better. Once again, it gives it kind of that stealthy kind of look, just like the gas cap. But yeah, this is another aesthetic mod, but something I really, makes the car look a lot better. I purchased this from Big Worms Graphics for $45. Up next we have the Mopar splash guards for the front and for the rear. I got this on my car primarily to protect from rocks and things like that. Another reason why I got these on my car was really to kind of protect from, spin off, and also, kind of things like water and things like that. When you have a white car, it really kind of tends to show up on the car. So if you had like a black car or something like that, something darker, you wouldn't really see it. But, when you always see these like black splashes coming up from the side of the car, you definitely would need some splash guards. But yeah, so these were definitely pretty helpful, and I paid $80 for both of these sets, and I got them from Mopar. Up next we have the all-weather mats directly from Mopar. I paid $102 for these, and the reason why I got these was, the car comes with some, regular carpet mats, and, I really just didn't want to mess them up. I probably still have them somewhere. I believe I have them in my apartment. But yeah, I just feel like these are much better. You don't have to worry about, cleaning it up. I believe the mats were black, so, but, these have definitely, made it a lot easier. And then they're also just so much easier to clean. All you got to do is spray with a hose. So, I definitely love these things, and yeah, very nice. Up next, we have the P0 Pirellis. I have two of these on the back of the car, and these pretty much were purchased due to the fact that, the other ones I had, the Eagle F1s, were pretty much bald. And, they needed replacements. Why did I choose the P0s? I didn't initially choose them. I needed new tires, and the only set they had that actually fit my car were the P0s. So I didn't intentionally choose these tires. And, they're definitely expensive. Not thinking about it, I wouldn't have got them. I would have got something cheaper. But they are good tires. I will give them that. They are definitely good tires. I don't have any complaints about them. I've had them for the past year now, a little bit more than a year, and the thread is pretty much still on there. They definitely have nicer grip than the F1s, and yeah. But so those were $500, from a regular tire shop, and yeah. Up next, we have the AR1 Concept drilled and slotted rotors. So I got these on my car basically out of necessity. So about 11,000 miles, my brakes were pretty much worn down. The brake pads were pretty much gone. I took it to the dealer because it was squealing pretty much. The brakes were really squealing really loudly. And when I took it there, the driver's side rotor was pretty much eaten all the way through. The brake pads were pretty much all gone. I'm not going to totally blame this on Dodge. I definitely drove the crap out of the car. And yeah, so I can't blame it totally on Dodge. But for some reason, conveniently, at 11, the brakes, there is no more warranty after 10,000 miles or 3 years. And at 11,000 miles, they ended up wearing out. Again, I'm not going to blame Dodge because I beat the shit out of the car. But, basically, it seems very convenient that they would go out, right around the time the warranty ends. But hey, whatever. You live and you learn. And yeah, if I drove it better, I guess, or calmer, then this wouldn't have happened. But it is what it is. So basically, I ended up getting the rotors for the back and the front. Drilled and slotted rotors, and I am definitely very happy with these rotors. They definitely really help with the brake dust. The brake dust is not that much of an issue anymore. Before, there was a lot of brake dust. Now, not as much. Obviously, they don't make any noise, and they're definitely way more robust than than the stock rotors. Definitely larger. One thing I am going to say about them, though, is they don't fit perfectly on the car. So normally, when anytime you have brakes on a car, they're going to rust, right? But when they fit perfectly on the car, the rust just goes off. From when you drive the car, the rust fades away. You don't even see it anymore. So these things don't fit perfectly on the car, so there might be a little bit of rust still on there. I really don't notice it unless you get really close, and it kind of depends on what the weather's like. If it's cold outside, if it's like raining or something, if it's really moist, then yeah, they'll kind of show the rust. But otherwise, if you're just driving it normally and the weather's pretty normal, you really don't see the rust. But that's something I do have to if I had to point out something negative about it, the rust is an issue. But besides that, I'm very happy with these rotors. They're great. I paid $400 for these rotors, the front and the back, from AR1 Concepts. Last but not least, we have the Plasti Dip on the front of the car. So, as you guys know, the stock Challengers, they have a chrome front on the car. At least the 2015s did. I know you can get the black top package, but basically I was doing this, mimicking off the Scat Pack. The Scat Packs come with, black front grills. At least the majority of them do. So I went with that, and I definitely have to say it looks so much better. And it's definitely a very, very cheap mod. It cost me about $20 to get something, one of these Plasti Dip cans from the market. It took me about a couple hours to pretty much tape off the front of the grill, and boom, you pretty much have your car looking like a Scat Pack. I believe the grill, the black actual grill, costs something like $400 or $500, and you could pretty much do the exact same thing for $20. So something that's very inexpensive, but something that makes the car look 100% better, and very happy with it. So taking a look at all of these modifications, when you add everything together, it comes out about around $3,600, $3,700. Now that is definitely not too much money, but you could really see how this stuff adds up. Now there's really nothing that I've added to my car that I regret. I really think all the mods are worth it. And yeah, so this is pretty much how much money I've spent on the modifications I've had. These are each single modification I have shared with you guys here. And if you guys wanted to learn a lot more about the FA cold air intake, I suggest you guys check that out. And then also I have a really detailed Corsa exhaust review, goes a lot of revs and really kind of describes things I like about it, and that is also on the YouTube channel as well. So if you guys want more details about that, check that video out as well. Yep, so that's how I spent $4,000 on my car. If you guys have any comments or you have any suggestions for me, did I miss anything in terms of my modifications? Did I overpay? Did I underpay? Let me know in the comments section. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you guys like what you see at the channel, subscribe. Thanks again, guys. I hope to see you soon. Until next time.